The year is 2022, a terrible year for U.S. immigration. The worst year yet worse is yet to come. The U.S. border is at a breaking point. 2.3 million desperate people trying to get through. 600,000 successfully evading the authorities and sneaking in. The so-called gotaways. Bloated bodies have been piling up in the river. No one has seen anything like this, not ever. But yes, it will get worse. This is the year a Peruvian man sets off on a vast journey that'll take him through the deserts of blistering hot sun, Rocky Mountain passes, and deceivingly unpredictable rivers. Like many before him, he won't reach his final destination, a place of safety in the USA. For many foreigners, the search for the American dream has become an American nightmare. Today, we'll try to understand why millions of people a year, in fact, are prepared to take what you'll see as a very, very high risk. A risk that's becoming an increasingly worrying predicament for the U.S. government and sections of the U.S. population. Never in the country's history have people seen anything like what's happening at present with the southern border immigration. When U.S. Border Patrol agents came across the Peruvian, he was a lifeless body floating in the Rio Grande, a 1,896-mile river that stretches through the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. Disturbingly, on that particular day, agents fished out almost a dozen other bodies they believed to have perished in the attempt to get to the United States. For some, their journey featured a weeks-long hike through jungles and mountains, sometimes passing through informal tollways manned by ruthless bandits. Still, for many of them, the last hurdle at the U.S. border proved to be the most difficult. 2022 was a bad year for immigrant deaths. The year the world's media talked about the most dangerous immigrant crossing in the entire world. The Peruvian was one of 853 migrants who died trying to cross the U.S.-Mexico border within 12 months, making it the deadliest year on record. U.S. Border Patrol reported that in 2021, there were 546 immigrant deaths. The number of deaths has often hovered around 300 to 400 per year, with a spike in 2005 at 492. From 2015 to 2020, it remained in the 200 to 300 bracket. Then, 2021 and 2022 broke records regarding fatalities and other measures we'll discuss today. Since 1998, over 8,000 undocumented migrants have died trying to cross the border. But as things look now, Border Patrol is going to be busier than ever in the near future, scooping up the dead. The reasons people die are diverse, sometimes not out of the ordinary, such as drowning, falling, or dying from thirst and exhaustion.
I could care less what anybody says. As a parent, I'll do whatever it takes to get my son to the next step.
Each week, about 3 plane loads of migrants who are deported from the U.S. are flown in and essentially brought to this immigration processing center here in Salvador. Buses like this can bring in a variety of people, whether it's men, women, or children, but today, most of the occupants were adult males.
Salvadorans are among the largest groups of undocumented immigrants deported from the U.S. Everyone here is repatriated with the Salvadoran government. They're given back whatever they could carry and released. For many, this is a foreign country.
Back there, I left my mother in United States, Virginia.
What age did you go to the U.S.?
9 years old.
And how old are you now?
About to be 25 Thursday.
You lived in the United States for 30 years. Who did you leave behind?
It's all my family, my 2 kids. Now is teenage, and my granddaughter, and my little girl, 5 years old.
So you have no one here?
Nobody.
Many of the people sent back to El Salvador have no support system here, so they eventually attempt to return north again.
Buenos dias.
Rafa Arturo was deported back to El Salvador in 2009. He says his parents smuggled him across the U.S. border when he was a child.
You used to live in the U.S.
Yes. Well, I had a life. I was married over there. I had 4 children.
You were, by all intents and purposes, you were an American.
Yeah.
Rafa is eligible to reapply for a green card 10 years after his deportation date. but the U.S.'s increasingly hardline immigration policies and the circumstances under which he left imperil his chance of ever returning.
How did you end up back here?
I did embezzlement, and that's what brought me here,
Records reveal, however, that